You're going to jail right now.
I have,
You can go for 90 days if you'd like. You're going to
no,
jail
Your
right
Honor,
now. I don't want to argue about it.
I would
There's a
also,
consequence. Next matter we're going to address is People versus Tanya Marie Moeller. Ms. Moeller was charged with a larceny in this file, which is 23878 SM.
A woman steals a handicapped man's wallet, vanishes off probation, and then shows up months later pretending it's no big deal. But when the judge remembers exactly who she is, things get ugly. You're about to watch a case that starts with excuses and ends with consequences. From unpaid restitution to a shocking final outburst, this courtroom moment shows what happens when the system runs out of patience.
She was placed on probation, and her probation agent is Autumn Kiefer. She was charged with stealing a wallet containing $180 of cash that belonged to a Richard Roll, and she pled to that charge. We had some victim input, and the defendant was placed on a probation. Ms. Kiefer filed a probation violation petition alleging that she fell off a map, essentially, that she failed to report on a monthly basis. That petition was last June. The defendant did not appear for that hearing, and a bench warrant issued for her arrest. She got picked up a few weeks ago. She'd been in, I don't know where she was, but she was here. She'd been in jail in Calhoun County. She bonded out and then came here for her arraignment. She pled not guilty and asked to set the matter for a hearing. She's here with her original attorney, Jordan Harden.
Your Honor, I was not the attorney in the underlying case.
Oh, you weren't?
No, I was not on a contract at that time.
Oh, well, all right. You're counsel now.
All right, so here's where it gets interesting. The defendant, Ms. Moeller, isn't even represented by her original lawyer. That tells us something. Either her first attorney dropped her due to lack of cooperation, or she's been bouncing between counties and jurisdictions. In legal terms, that's a red flag. It shows instability, and courts hate that when you're already on probation for theft.
I don't know who was your original attorney. Do you remember who your original
I
was?
didn't have one here.
All right. Okay. Well, Ms. Harden, what does your client wish to do?
Thank you, Your Honor. I did have a phone conference with my client a couple weeks ago, as she does live quite a distance away from Centerville and the Mendon area. Discussing the allegation of the petition, she is willing to make an admission today.
All right. Let me put Ms. Strong in the break dancing room, and then we'll. Ms. Harden, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. The indication or the intention of my client today is that she's going to make an admission to the allegations in the petition, which was violation of Article 3, failing to report.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the status report. Her last report was April of 2024, and then we just lost track of her. So, Ms. Moeller, would you acknowledge you failed to report since April of 24 until you got picked up in Battle Creek in August of 25?
I do, Your Honor.
What happened?
I ended up moving to Bay City, Michigan to attempt to take care of my mother and my stepdad, and just with the multitasking, it just wasn't a priority when it should have been.
She admits she failed to report for more than a year, April 2024 to August 2025. That's not missing one check-in. That's ghosting your probation officer for 16 months. When she says, "I was busy taking care of my mom," the court hears one thing: I didn't prioritize the law. And that's exactly what the judge is about to dig into.
When you got arrested in Calhoun County, did you get charged with anything there, or they just arrested you
No.
on our warrant?
On the warrant.
How'd you happen to be in Battle Creek?
Well, I was coming down to deal with my daughter and actually come here and deal with some things, trying to get things squared away in St. Joe County so that I don't have to do the 3-hour drive.
Well, I put you on probation because I felt there was a drug issue here, and I also wanted to have enough time to get restitution paid to the man whose wallet you took. I wasn't very successful at that. Ms. Kiefer, what's your recommendation here?
Well, initially she has 20 days of deferred time. This type of violation doesn't warrant 20 days. She served 4 days in Calhoun County that I verified. She unfortunately hasn't paid any fines and costs at all in this case. So my recommendation is for the 4 days of time served for her to pay the $325, which removes the oversight fees of probation and revoke from the probation.
Notice how the probation officer recommends only 4 days of time served and a $325 payment. That's lenient, almost sympathetic. But here's the kicker. She hasn't paid a single dollar of restitution. The man she stole from never got his money or his IDs back. The court sees that as a moral failure, not just a legal one.
Ms. Harden, having that in mind, what would you like to say to that?
Your Honor, we were going to ask for the court to consider her circumstances. I was not aware of the time she'd done in Calhoun County, so the recommendation for time served and just pay the remainder of that restitution and court costs, we would ask the court to adopt that recommendation from Ms. Kiefer.
Ms. Canfield, do you have an opinion regarding this?
I do, Your Honor. I struggle with these types because it doesn't appear that there's a new offense or any criminal conduct, at least that we're aware of, that would have brought her before Calhoun County or this court again. However, if she was moving to Bay City, that's something that she should have kept Ms. Kiefer aware of. Probation could have potentially been transferred there if this court was willing to do so and they accepted, or perhaps even a phone report could have been arranged, but she didn't make effort to even comply in that regard. So here I understood she did 4 days and there's no new offenses, but when you just abscond and have to be picked up in order to come deal with things, I think that perhaps maybe a little bit more than the 4 days served is warranted for just snubbing her nose at this court. And frankly, Ms. Kiefer, who through her report made every attempt to help her report on several occasions and had to reach out to her. She failed to report in March of last year. She reported in April and not thereafter. So, I mean, she was giving her the benefit of the doubt and she didn't give the same respect back to this court or Ms. Kiefer.
The prosecutor's argument here is subtle but sharp. It's not about a new crime, it's about disrespect. She didn't communicate, didn't transfer her probation, and didn't try to comply. In the legal world, absconding from probation means you've chosen to ignore the court's authority. That's why this prosecutor wants more than 4 days. She wants accountability.
Yes. Let me bring Ms. Strongest back. To back all the way up, this crime offended my sensibilities. This handicapped man left his wallet in a cart at Myers. You took it. You lied about it. You minimized it and took his money. Mr. Ohl left his wallet in one of the motorized carts. He was with his healthcare worker. He had $180 plus all his ID, which, by the way, has never been recovered. That's a huge pain to lose your driver's license, your credit cards, your social security information, your insurance. So they watched the footage and they saw you take his wallet. First you said you didn't take the wallet, then you said you did take the wallet and you gave it to a Walmart employee in the parking lot, which you didn't. You took his wallet and left and kept his money and all his identification. I thought you got a huge gift when I put you on this probation. I wanted to get the guy's money repaid. You repaid us by doing zero. And then, interesting, when it comes time to get out of jail, you come up with money to post a surety bond. You can't pay 1 cent to us or to this man's restitution, but when it comes the difference of you sitting in jail and getting out, you come up with enough cash money to post a surety bond. So you deserve more than 4 days in jail.
And here it comes, the judge's breaking point. He remembers this case personally. A handicapped man left his wallet in a motorized cart. This defendant took it, lied about returning it, and never repaid a dime. Then she had the audacity to show up saying she didn't prioritize it. That's when you hear the emotion shift. This isn't just a theft. It's a betrayal of compassion. The judge is no longer calm. He's personally offended.
You deserve what I ordered in the first place. As I said, this offended me right from the get-go. My judgment was 6-month probation, 21 days minus 1, hanging 20 days over your head. You were supposed to pay restitution and court costs and other expenses, of which you paid none. I also barred you from Walmart for a year. So having said all that, what would you like to say to me?
First, I apologize to the courts and probation for having life problems. As of September 9th or September 10th, I am now working. If my check deposited on Wednesday mornings, $200 would have already been paid, but it doesn't until after midnight. So I can't pay anything until tomorrow.
All right, fair enough. Can you get his driver's license and social security
My-
card and his? Yeah, you threw somebody else under the bus. This
My
was
son threw all that away, or I don't know what was happened to it after it got in his hands.
yes.
But I pled guilty because I am the one that took it out of the court. The cart there at Walmart.
Well, yeah, you did.
Well, my son's also 39 years old at the time.
Yeah, you got very little responsibility for this. The more you say, the more I want to give you the balance of 21 days in jail.
I would appreciate not, Your Honor. I have a
Yes.
mother and stepdad that I need to provide care for.
Yes, I'm gonna order. You spent 1 + 4, 10 days in jail, credit 5, leaving 5 days to serve. I'm waiving all your fines and costs except the $200 restitution. You're going to jail right now.
I have,
You can go for 90 days if you'd like. You're going to
No,
jail
Your
right
Honor.
now. I don't want to argue about it.
I would
There's a
also,
consequence.
nope, I would just like to make a statement.
I don't want to hear it. Thank you. You can go with the officer.
And there it is, justice delivered. 5 days in jail, restitution ordered, and no more probation safety net. Notice how quickly the tone shifted from sympathy to shutdown the moment she started deflecting blame. The takeaway? Excuses might delay accountability, but they never erase it. If you found this case as shocking as we did, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you have given her more time or less? And don't forget to subscribe to Time Served for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns where real justice meets real drama.
There goes my.
There is a consequence
Well,
to our actions, and one just landed on you.
I agree to that. Can you grab my belongings?